Hello, welcome to the Story Attic, your YouTube home for stories. Please enjoy today's program.
My town had a winter visitor. Pray you never hear his bells. Growing up, my hometown had a Christmas tradition that nobody ever explained to the kids. At least not until we were old enough for it to matter. When I turned 10, I noticed something I had never seen before. Adults getting nervous right after Halloween. My parents whispered constantly. My teachers kept glancing toward the windows during class. Even the cashier at the grocery store jumped whenever the bell over the door rang. Me and my friends had no idea what was going on. All we ever managed to overhear were fragments. It's been 10 years. If he returns this winter, we don't have long to prepare. Every time we asked about who, we were told to drop the subject. My friend Trevor's mom even took away his bike for a week because he kept pushing for answers. No one said the name out loud. Not then. I didn't hear anything else until Thanksgiving. After the parade ended, the local station suddenly cut to an emergency broadcast. My dad immediately stood up and blocked the TV. My mom shouted at me and my sister to go to our bedrooms. I refused and lingered in the hallway until my dad physically pointed me down the stairs. But I wasn't leaving without learning something. I slipped outside, crouched under the living room window, and pressed my ear to the siding. The broadcast was muffled, but I caught enough. Confirmed reports he has begun the crossing. Expect distribution of mandatory items. Residents urged to display them prominently. Then the broadcast cut. My dad opened the front door and called me inside, his voice stiff and shaky. The next few days at school were just kids swapping theories. A festival inspector? A visiting politician? Some weird town mascot? None of us were close. December 1st was when things got strange. Police trucks rolled through town, hauling trailers stacked high with cardboard boxes. 2 officers dropped 3 boxes on our porch, nodded, and left without a word. My parents opened them in silence. Inside were decorations, but nothing like Christmas. Everything was blue. Blue tinsel, blue lights, blue wreaths. Even the ornaments were black or navy or frosted silver, like the designers had never heard of red or green. But the worst one, the one burned into my memory, was a figurine. It looked like Santa Claus, if someone stretched him too tall and ironed out every ounce of warmth. Slender. Nobeard. A long pointed face. Blue coat with black fur. Eyes too wide, like he was listening for something only he could hear. "What is this?" I asked. My mom froze. My dad swallowed hard. "That's Winter Saint," he finally said. "Santa's predecessor." I laughed. "He looks evil." My dad's voice snapped like a twig. "He is Santa." That was the first time my father ever raised his voice at me. Every family in town had the same decorations, and by the next morning, blue lights glowed on every house like we were living underwater. A week later, police went door to door checking the displays. They inspected our ornaments, our wreaths, even the candles we put in the windows. They said we passed. My friend Layla said one family tried to use their usual red stockings and got fined. Another family refused entirely and were arrested for endangering the community. Still, none of us kids understood what the decorations were for. Then December 10th hit, and suddenly the adults wanted us to misbehave. I don't mean encouraging us to take a break or be a little messy. I mean aggressively trying to make us break rules. When I went to the local bakery, the woman behind the counter shoved a muffin into my pocket and accused me loudly of stealing. My friend Trevor told me the school principal forced him to spit gum on the floor because it's okay to be bad sometimes. Another kid said a police officer handed him a slingshot and pointed at a neighbor's window. Even my mom cornered me one night and said, trembling, "You don't have to follow the house rules this month. Please, please don't be perfect." I didn't understand it then. I barely understand it now. But the adults were scared, really scared. And whatever was coming, they didn't want us to be good. Christmas Eve was when everything broke. A mandatory town curfew at 5 p.m. A televised order at 6 p.m. Residents must remain in bedrooms until sunrise. Doors locked. Curtains closed. I didn't argue. I went to my room, tried to stay awake, and drifted out hard and fast. Too fast. In hindsight, I think they slipped something in the hot chocolate they insisted we drink. I woke up sometime around midnight needing to pee. While washing my hands, I heard a dull thud from the roof. My heart jumped. I hoped it was Santa. I crept downstairs, ignoring the voice in my head screaming to go back to bed. And there, in the dim blue glow of our mandated decorations, he stood, the figure from the ornament, the winter saint. His spine was bowed like he was sniffing the air. His limbs hung too long. His coat shimmered dark blue like frozen oil. He touched our ornaments with thin, trembling fingers. "Lovely," he whispered, his voice like cracking ice. I don't know why I said it. I didn't mean to say it. "Santa." He froze. Then he turned toward me, bending his neck in a slow, unnatural swivel. His smile stretched too far. Well, a child awake on my night. He stepped forward without moving his legs. Sliding, gliding, I don't know. His face was inches from mine before I could blink. "Don't you recognize me?" he hissed sweetly. "I've watched you all year." His breath smelled like gingerbread dipped in something rotten. He reached out, covering my mouth with both hands, his fingers curling around my cheeks like a mask. Cold isn't the right word. His hands felt like they were made of absence. "Tell me," he whispered, "were you naughty?" My lips moved without my permission. "No." I tried to be good, even when they wanted me to be bad. His smile collapsed into fury. "That is unfortunate." He turned, grabbed a midnight-colored sack I swear wasn't there before, and pulled out something small. "Hold out your hand." My arm obeyed him, not me. He dropped a piece of something coal-like into my palm. "Merry Christmas, little light." Then he bent backward, and slid up the chimney, bones cracking like icicles snapping. The moment he disappeared, the thing in my palm burned. Really burned. I tore outside and threw it into the snow. It glowed bright orange, melting a perfect circle into the frost. Only when I looked closely did I realize it had been shaped like a screaming face. My hand blistered instantly, the skin forming a warped, permanent scar. Then screams filled the neighborhood. 3 houses on my block were burning. I ran inside to call 911, but the line played a pre-recorded message. "Emergency services will resume at dawn. Warmest holiday wishes." Behind the message, faintly, I swear I heard bells. And a voice. "Bad night, bad night." The next thing I remember is waking in my bed. Sunlight. My parents sobbing as they hugged me. Gifts under the tree like nothing had happened. Outside, 3 homes were ash. People we loved were gone. The official explanation? Faulty wiring. Candles left unattended. Careless mistakes repeated across multiple houses. No one questioned it. By New Year's, the town pretended it had never happened. Over time, we all grew up and drifted apart. By the next 10-year mark, most of my childhood friends had moved out of state. Like me, I buried the memory under jobs, marriage, kids, bills, life. I told myself it was trauma, a nightmare, a childhood hallucination. But I kept the scar covered. Every Christmas. When the next cycle came, I called my parents. They cried the whole call. I pretended it was sentimentality, and I prayed the winter saint would forget me. Then, 3 months ago, Trevor reached out. He told me he'd been collecting accounts from former residents. Whispers, sightings, strange phone calls, people describing tall blue shapes outside their houses, faces in reflections, footprints in fresh snow. Every person who contacted him eventually stopped responding. Then he would check the news. House fire, family gone, or a tragic accident. One by one. "We were spared that night," Trevor told me. "But he didn't forget us. He just waited." Trevor says he's found something. A clue, a location, a way to end the winter saint for good. He wants me there. He says he needs the only one who ever saw him up close. I'm 50 now. I have a family, grandchildren, but the scar on my hand has been itching lately, burning almost. And last night, when I took the trash out, I heard faint jingling behind the trees. Slow, deliberate, waiting. So yes, I'm going back. Because this year, he's coming again. And he doesn't want decorations this time.